Yeah. You know what time it is. Turn the volume up. Let's go. Fresh out the gate, yeah, we're leveling the floor. Whatever you were seeking, now you're getting even more. From the hustle to the heart, yeah, we breaking down the walls. It's the talk of the town every time the mic calls. No filters, no fakes, just the rhythm and the truth. Bringing all the fire from the booth to the youth. Plug in your headphones, locked in the zone. The biggest conversation that you've ever known. You're locked in. This is a sport about it. Let's get it!
Yo, what up? What up? What is up? As we always do, let's sport about it. That's what we getting into right now. I got a question though. Is it over? Is it finally over? It sounds like it's over. At least the season's over. At least I don't have to go through any more torment. At least the fact that I don't have to hear or deal with the fact that my team didn't do everything they were supposed to do. It's over. I have to hear them out till next year or whatever. But now we all start over. We all start from the bottom. And the only team that can talk smack or say anything are those Seattle Seahawks and that what I say? Dark side defense. Because man, they laid the smack down on those Patriots. Just like I said they would. It was by more than double digits. I thought it was gonna be a 10-point game, but it was a little more than that. 29-13 as that dark side defense completely, and I'm saying completely, dominated everything against those New England Patriots. What up, everybody? It's Doc. Doc is in the building. We are chilling. I'm up and ready to roll. We starting a whole new football season coming up, talking about some of that stuff, but then we move on into, you know, greener pastures. We're talking about something I'm not gonna get so sick about, my Lakers, my Dodgers, the WNBA. We do a few other things right now because of the fact that at least I don't have to constantly hear the drama and the smack talk. But still, how about them Cowboys? But we on that Lake show, and we would Los Dodgers on a regular basis. So we good. We good. We be all right. We be all right. You know what I'm saying? We be all right. Anyways, I hope y'all feeling good. I hope y'all are remembering to like, subscribe, and to follow us. Make sure you check us out on Instagram. Make sure you check us out on TikTok. And make sure you follow us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and YouTube. Oh my goodness. Check us out on YouTube because y'all can comment. We write back. We talk back. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram. We write back. We talk back. And we talk about it right here on the show. Whatever you got to say, we got something to respond back to you. So we were going to make sure we be doing that on a regular basis. But man, Drake May got sacked 6 times. 6 times. Should have been 7, but they gave the last one as the interception. They said it was an interception return for a touchdown when we thought it was a scoop and score. But because the ball didn't hit the ground, it was an interception. So they took the sack away. And they got just dominated. Dominated. And they did it in such historic fashion. Along with something that you rarely see. You saw an offensive MVP that did not score a touchdown on the night. The only one he would have scored, they called it back on a holding penalty. But Kenneth Walker III did some amazing stuff as he put up 135 rushing yards on those Patriots. They couldn't understand what was coming left, what was coming right, up the middle, around the side. They just had no answer for him on his 27 carries. No answer whatsoever. And he just turned out to be the first running back to win the Super Bowl since TD, which did get some TDs. Terrell Davis way back in the day in Denver in that was like 98. A lot of y'all wasn't even around. Some of y'all listening was like, oh, what is that? That was football back then? Yeah, it was football. And they were balling. And guess what? They were scoring touchdowns so they get that MVP, but not this time. He didn't need a touchdown. He didn't need to give up get a touchdown because they did so good stopping the other team. I mean, they kept them scoreless for 3 innings. And then on top of that, you got this kicker that's going kicking things away, and he had 5, 5 field goals. 5. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 field goals to make sure that they were gonna win this Super Bowl. Jason Myers put up those 5 field goals, and then he got his extra points and stuff like that, and so he had a good game. If it was fantasy, hope it was fantasy, he would've been whoever had him would've loved him. They would've loved him as he would've made sure he gave them a nice little set of points to keep pushing. So that's just that's just how it went. That is just how it went. It ain't too much to say about that. It was a sleeper for some people, but it wasn't for those Seattle Seahawks. So congratulations, there's an order for all of those Seahawks fans that up and down stick with your team. Because I'm telling you, as a Cowboy fan, I know what it's like to see bandwagon people and people who pop out of nowhere with jerseys and just I saw somebody in a car today looking and smiling, as they got in that car with a Seahawk jersey. I ain't never seen that around my neighborhood before. But guess what? They had it on because either they lost the bet or they were bandwagon. One of the 2. One of the 2. So it just, it's a new phenomenon. Jump on where you can. Jump on a bandwagon of whatever team is winning, I guess. That's the way it goes. So it's gonna be interesting coming up now because the Seahawks, they pretty much look like they wanna run it back. They look like they wanna run it back. I mean, you got and this is just me, hot take coming in.
A sport about it.
You have their quarterback, Sam Darnold, coming off of a 14-3 season in Minnesota, then going over to Seattle on another 14-3 regular season and pushes it all the way up through the Super Bowl. And you know what the thing is? He had 0 turnovers the entire playoff. We talking about a guy that led the league in turnovers in the regular season. No turnovers in the playoff. So the question becomes like, was he really a draft day bust or was it just destiny? Because man, from being a number 3 pick, being moved around to 5 different teams to winning the Super Bowl, that don't happen. That don't happen. But it did. It did, and he did exactly what his team needed him to do. That's it. He did what they needed him to do. So, with him coming back, with his confidence sky high, even with Kubiak leaving, I understand that OC left. Can they run it back? First of all, the first thing they got to do is put some money on it for Kenneth Walker III because you're not getting the Super Bowl MVP being in the free agent year, and you better not let him walk. Don't let him walk. Y'all had a running back problem before up there in Seattle when y'all didn't give the ball to your running back on the 1. This is the same thing, just in a different context. Seattle, don't let him walk. He did what he was supposed to do for y'all. Lock him up. You better lock him up. You better do it. Don't let it come back to bite you. Last time y'all went back to the championship and lost. This time y'all got a chance to keep the core together. Don't do it. On offense, you got 2 people to sign. You got to sign him, and you got to sign Shaheed. Get them done. Get them done. On defense, you got 2 people to sign. You got to sign Reek. You talk with the cornerback, Tariq Woolen. You got to make sure you go ahead and lock him up. Lock him up. And then you got to make sure you go ahead and sign Kobe Bryant. Lock him up. That's it. Y'all got a few other pieces to pick up here and there. You know what I mean? I understand that y'all may be in the market for this guy called, what's his name? Max Crosby. Looking like you need another edge rusher, and he looking like he's gonna be on the move. Yeah, somebody better lock him up. Y'all better figure it out. Pick up those pieces. Pick up those pieces, and make sure that y'all don't fumble the ball or turn the ball over this time, trying to repeat. It ain't over just because y'all won it last year. It's a whole new season. So make sure you try to, run it back. Y'all were dominant. Dominant. Very, very dominant this year. And that's just what it is. The question becomes, though, what happens to the Patriots moving forward? I mean, What happens to the Patriots moving forward? I mean, Drake May had a good season. He did pick up 20, I think 23 first place votes, came in second in MVP voting, but he got beat down. So y'all need him. He needs some help on that line. I remember a quarterback that was looking good just like him, went to the Super Bowl just like him, came out of the AFC just like him, and Joe Burrow after getting sacked and beat up so much, and he ain't been the same since. Don't do what they did. Don't do what they did, New England. Get him some help on that line. Don't let him get beat up like that. He shouldn't be out there running for his life every play. It's crazy. You need to get him some help and get him a true number one wide receiver, somebody you're gonna toss the ball to, somebody you know to look for. Go ahead and get him that. Get him that. Go ahead because they need the help. Because hot take coming in
A sport about it.
is this: I do think the New England Patriots will win their division. However, I don't think it's gonna be that 14-3 record like this year. I think next year they're gonna lose about 7 or 8 games to win the division on a close one with Buffalo. It'll be close because they both gonna struggle. So they both got a little harder schedule, a lot of things are going on. But I do think they're gonna win the division. I think confidence goes a long way. And Vrabel, even though he didn't make the adjustments, as my cousin says, that he did in Tennessee, he didn't make adjustments when need be in big games. He didn't make a lot of adjustments this time. I think they'll be back. I think they're gonna lick their wounds and they're gonna be back. In the playoffs, that's about it though. That's where the buck stops. That's where the buck stops. Next year, their home game schedule, just so y'all know, just so y'all on board with this, is that they play the Bills at home, they play the Dolphins and Jets at home. That's the division, right? We get that. They play the Broncos in Vegas at home. Gonna be a little while, especially with the Broncos. We don't know what's up with the Raiders yet. They play the Packers and the Vikings. Packers gonna be pretty tough. I don't know what's up with the Vikings yet. They gotta find them a quarterback. They play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are at home games. Now we don't know what the Steelers gonna do with the new Mike in play, right? Get another Mike coach instead of the old Mike coach. But those are the games they play up in New England. But then when they go on the road, they got to go on the road to those same places to Buffalo, Miami, New York, and those that division is always crazy. But then they got to go to Kansas City, and I don't know when or what time, and if Patty Mahomes be back or whatever the case may be. Then when they go to the Chargers, the Chargers did just hire one of their division foes as the OC and the coach, and McDaniel's down there as their OC. That could be a little different. Chargers gonna look a little different next year. They gotta go to the Bears. We know what they did this year. They gotta go to the Lions. The Lions are always tough. Win or lose, they're gonna be a tough in or out for anybody. Then they gotta go and play Jacksonville Jaguars, which I thought should and could have been in the AFC Championship game this year because they were so good, but they choked. And then they play, there's gonna be a game against the Super Bowl opponent this year, the Seahawks. So they schedule ain't easy. A lot of people can say they ain't gonna do good at all. I heard somebody say they're gonna go 6-8 next year. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. But we gonna find out, and everything changes. Just because what happened this year is not an indication of what can happen next year. We've all learned that. Just because your team did one thing now does not make them go do it again. That means that those teams they're playing may not be as good. They may not be as good. But I do project them to go ahead and, go back to the playoffs and win their division and take hold of that. At least that. Because everything else is gonna be tough. It is going to be tough. But we're here for it, right? We're here to sport about it. One other thing that we gotta sport about is this running back market. Uh-oh. It's back. It is back. Saquon Barkley last year, balling out, helping the Philadelphia Eagles win a Super Bowl. Kenneth Walker made his playoff run completely real good this year, helping the Seahawks win a Super Bowl. And now we have a nice little list of running backs in the NFL that are currently on the market. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. So you telling me, you telling me that Seattle, if they don't lock up Kenneth Walker the third, then nobody gonna lock him up? No, he getting locked up. He gonna get a nice little piece of money because they've shown their running backs are very integral part of winning in football. But I think the bigger play, the bigger running back, the bigger name that's out there that I don't think he going back to his team that he was at. Cowboys, you listening? You listening? I like what we had, and we got to resign him, but you listening? Brees Hall. Brees Hall. Come on, man. How talented is Brees Hall? And struggling, just like Sam Darnold or anybody that played for the Jets. What he did good there. But can you imagine him in a very competent program? A situation that works better for his talents, uh, a line that blocks for him. Come on, man. Brees Hall, the free agent. Then you got other free agents like Travis Etienne Jr. Come on, man. Jacksonville needed him this year. He showed up this year. He's, a pass catching back. He can run with the ball. He had over 1,300 all purpose yards this year. I mean, with this new offense and all these schemes they run and everything out the back, you saw what happened with CMC this year, how often he touched the ball. You can be very, very formidable giving your running back the ball in passes and run down. Etienne's out there. Then you got Javonte Williams, and he was a bell cow for them boys. He was a bell cow for the Cowboys, and he did his thing. He had his prove it year. He had over 1,200 yards. And he's shown that he's come back from injury and he's good to go. I do want the Cowboys to resign him.
The sport about
That
it.
don't mean I don't want Brees Hall too. That don't mean that Cowboys, hey, we could take Brees Hall and Javonte Williams. It's okay. We can level on offense. We need to make sure if our defense don't pick up, we got to score a little bit more. We didn't score enough, apparently, to do a little bit more. It's okay. We can do it. Let's get it done. I'm saying, let's get it done. Figure it out, Cowboys. Figure it out. And you got, of course, the Chargers with Najee Harris, and he's out there. I know injuries are a part of everything that happens with players like him, but the way things happen now, people come back quite a bit. Rico, remember that name, Cowboy Land? But over in Carolina this year and destroyed the Cowboys too, and other teams as well when he started and took over. Rico Dowdle, free agent. Come on, man. He want to get paid. He played like he wanted to get paid. He ran like an angry runner, and he did his thing. You got J.K. Dobbins. It's gonna be out there trying to make a move. His biggest issue has been health. So if he can stay healthy, somebody gonna do something with him. Maybe they tie him up with another running back. They need to give him just a few carries a game. Let his talent take over. Then of course Rashid White down there in Tampa Bay. You know the fact that he's already linked to a few different teams getting picked up. He's definitely going to be somebody on the move. So it's going to be interesting with those running backs, man. It's going to be crazy to see who moves where, what happens here. Is it going to be an offensive push for teams this offseason? While some teams that we know got to work on the defensive side of the ball in a real, real, real big way. Because if they don't do it, then that offense just ain't going to matter. Because in the NFC, like I said, Seattle ain't got to do much. Y'all got to go up against them. They got the confidence right now. They got it. They the ones walking around with the power. They got it all right now. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see if anybody can go up there and stop them. Do anything that they can do to stop them. They trying a lot right now in the league. They moving head coaches to offense coordinators. They moving coaches around. We talked about the 10 different hires and coaches in the league and stuff like that. We talked about a lot of the movement that's taking place. And I can tell you like this, when I look at everything and I look at all of the numbers and the stats and everything, like I said, being a new year and things that happen don't really matter, there's gonna be a lot of storylines on who picks up who goes where. There's a lot of comfortability going on because I play for this coach here or I play for his brother there. It's so much happening right now that all we can do as fans is sit back and say, "What's next? Is next in the NFL?" Because a lot of things that happen right now, we just who would have picked the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots to start to play in the Super Bowl this year? Who would have did that? I think the numbers were like 60-1 or something. It was some crazy odds for each team, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. So going into next year, we're gonna have a little bit of the same. I'm almost certain that ain't nobody gonna get a Seahawks. They're gonna say it was a fluke run. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say it was a fluke run, and they won't be back. And you got people on different podcasts and shows saying this ain't what's supposed to be. This is not what the Super Bowl's supposed to look like. Then beat them. Then beat them. But you couldn't beat them. So now you're gonna talk about it. That's the thing that kills me. You couldn't beat them, so you're gonna talk about them, and that's wild when you think about it. Because if they weren't supposed to be there, who was? Oh, they got lucky. Then beat them. Oh, they did this. Didn't beat them. Oh, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills would have been there. They lost to Denver. They lost to Denver. Oh, the Houston Texans are a much better team than the Patriots. They lost to the Patriots. Their quarterback struggled big time. The defense is good. Tell me, Jacksonville, they lost to the Bills. They choked. They weren't ready. You can't tell me none of that. Oh, the Rams should have did. The Rams lost to the Seahawks twice this year. And one of them, they had, what, 4 turnovers and barely won by a field goal. Could have been 3 times. As good as the Rams look with their MVP quarterback. Oh, but the 49ers are with us, and they just got broken down. Well, guess what? That's part of it. Injuries are part of the game. Everybody got injuries. So did Seattle. They had injuries, too. They had a two-headed running back, and one on went out with a leg. It happens. Other people got hurt. Plug and play, right? Didn't beat them. You cannot sit here and tell me that these teams were not supposed to be here when they won. I'm a Cowboy fan. We had one of the easiest schedules in the league, and we didn't win crap this year. Let me say that again. I'm a Cowboy fan with one of the easiest schedules in the league this year, and we won crap. Don't give me that. You got to go out and perform and win. So give the kudos to the team that won, which is the Seattle Seahawks. And the AFC, the best that they had to offer was the beast of the AFC East, New England Patriots. But until next year, we'll talk about that one. The coaches, though, on the other hand, all this movement, they trying to go out there and beat them. So Seattle went and sent Kubiak on down over there to Vegas. So he won the Super Bowl one day, landed in Vegas the next day. And that's cool. I don't know if if there's 3 hardballs in the league now, and more than just 2, because the guy that took John Harbaugh's spot in Baltimore worked with his brother Jim in Michigan and the Chargers, Mentor. So it becomes a thing like good old boy club really just showing his ugly head again. Then Harbaugh, John went over and he coaching the Giants. He over in our division in the NFC East. It's gonna be interesting to see what he does with what he gets there. The Bills hired Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator. When it was their offense that was having the struggles and the issues and the play calls and turnovers this year, it wasn't their defense, but they hired him. So that's a interesting situation. My take
The sport about it.
on that, I take is that the Bills are going to lose 7 or 8 games next year. They're going to be in the dogfight for the division with the Patriots, and they're going to lose it via tiebreaker. I just don't see it coming. Then you got Mike McCarthy coming in to take the place of, like I said, Tomlin. McCarthy's a old Pittsburgh guy. That should be interesting. That should be fun. But will this be? Will this be the first year in a long time that the Steelers had a losing record? Something to think about. How's that gonna look like, Mike? You come in, y'all ain't had a losing record in all of Tomlin's career, and you get a losing record? Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna see how that rolls out. We're gonna see how that goes. But then you got Stefanski going to the Falcons, this offensive guru that never had a great offense and never did anything with offense, that ain't been great with offense, gets the job like he's this great offensive coach, leaving the Browns to go down to Atlanta. I think the best hire in the whole thing this go round was probably Todd Monken going to the Ravens. I mean, sorry, to Cleveland from the Ravens because he likes Shador. He wanted Shador. They said they wanted to draft him, and he was the OC on the team that wanted to draft him. So he was in the talks, and now he got him as his quarterback. So I'm very, very interested to see how that works. Very interested, and I think he's gonna give him all the rope that he needs. And another note from me, hot take coming in from me.
The sport about it.
I think the Browns will make the playoffs next year. The Cleveland Browns will make the playoffs next year. Book it. Go ahead and book it because it's gonna be interesting what's going on up there. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Then you got the Titans. Robert Saleh, he gets hired. I like Saleh as the defensive coordinator. I like Saleh as the defensive-minded coach with the Jets. I like Saleh and his mindset that he brings to the team, and he comes and he just controls the narrative, and they went and picked up a real good, seemingly good offensive coordinator in Brian Dable. So they may be a good mix as long as they don't bump heads. But if Dable can get the best out of Ward, like they said he got the best out of Josh Allen, and Saleh can get that defense rolling, and it was doing pretty good, then we may have something here in Tennessee. You may have Tennessee rising because they've had a lot of draft picks, a lot of stuff in the past. They need to go ahead and come from the bottoms of the earth in their division to try to rise back to the top. So that will be a very, very interesting thing that goes on there. We got the Cardinals with the brother LaFleur coming in. He was the Rams OC. Now he's going over to be the Arizona Cardinals coach. They playing in the same division. Will that raise some tension a little bit? Will that make it more difficult because the familiarity with them, with the Rams, and will that make the division a little more competitive? Is yet to be determined. That is yet to be determined. But the weirdest of all the hires, even past the Bills hires, the Miami Dolphins hiring Jeff Hafley, the Packers DC. Ain't nothing glamorous, nothing pretty, nothing about that. The only thing I can say 100% about all of these particular hires is that none of them were coaches of color. And that's crazy. 30% of the jobs available, 0% of the jobs given to any coach that had a resume like a Van Joseph or anybody like that that can come out there and coach. They just all just so we'll see what happens. I mean, that goes to the nature of the sport. That goes to the nature of diversity and inclusion, right? That goes to the fact that the Rooney Rule may need to be relooked at. All that is going to take place. All that's gonna be looked at, just like the Hall of Fame vote is gonna be looked at, right? For leaving out Kraft and leaving out Belichick and stuff like that. This is gonna be looked at for these first ballots. It's a lot of changes coming. Look at the way of the world right now. It's a lot of change coming. A lot. And we gotta be here. We gotta just go ahead and look at it and say, hey, what's going on? Because it's a lot happening, not only in the NFL, but in the world. And we here to support about it. One thing we are gonna be here to support about now that it's post trade deadline in the NBA, we're gonna be sporting about what's up with these teams. Who's making what noise, who's gonna do what, and what trade fit. We're gonna be talking about that. I'll talk to y'all about that a little later. We'll come at that next show. Because it's on and popping. Once again, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking, subscribing, forwarding, and sharing with your friends. Always check us out on Instagram. Always check us out on TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you come in and let us know what you're thinking because we are here to sport about sports all the time. That's just my take. Now, the truth is, my opinions maybe just be some of y'all facts, right? My opinions are y'all facts. So go ahead and run with it. Go tell somebody, take my take and go argue with it at the water cooler. Go argue with it on the field, on the basketball court, in the barbershop. Go do your thing because we're going to have fun with it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking us out. We'll catch you next time. Peace.